Have you ever felt like the people closest to you secretly underestimated you?
5. Like your own family looked at your struggles and decided you would never become more than what they see right now. 5. But what if Allah was hiding your greatness on purpose? What if the loneliness, rejection, and silent battles were actually preparing you for a rise so powerful that even the people who doubted you would stand in shock watching your 5 transformation? In this video, 5, we are going to uncover 6 powerful lessons about why Allah sometimes allows chosen ones to be overlooked before He elevates them publicly. 5. And by the end of this message, you may finally understand why your pain was never punishment. It was preparation for the life Allah is about to give you. Lesson 1. Allah often hides greatness. Behind rejection, one of the most painful parts of being a chosen one is feeling misunderstood by the very 5 people closest to you. Your family may love you, but they may not understand the destiny Allah placed inside you. While others were accepted easily, you may have felt ignored, criticized, compared to others, or treated like your dreams were unrealistic. 5. But Allah often hides greatness behind rejection because He is building strength, patience, wisdom, 5, and dependence on Him before the elevation arrives. People judge you based on your current situation, your struggles, or your quiet seasons. 5. But Allah sees the future. He already planned for you long before anyone else believed in it. The loneliness, the silence, and the underestimation were not signs that you were forgotten. They were signs that Allah was preparing you privately, so that when your rise finally happens, nobody will be able to take the credit for it except Him. One day, the same people who doubted you will look at your life in shock, because they will finally realize that while they were overlooking you, 5, Allah was secretly shaping you into someone far greater than they ever imagined. Lesson 2. Your pain was training, not punishment. Many chosen ones spend years believing their struggles mean Allah has forgotten them. 5. When in reality He is preparing them for a level of strength most people could never handle. The rejection, the delays, the lonely nights, the emotional battles, and the constant misunderstandings were not punishment. They were training for your elevation. 5. While others were living comfortably, Allah was teaching you patience, discipline, wisdom, and complete dependence on Him. Your family may have looked at your struggles and assumed you would never rise beyond them. 5. But they could not see what Allah was building inside you through every painful season. Every tear taught you endurance, every betrayal taught you discernment, and every setback forced you closer to Allah instead of further away. Chosen ones are often shaped in private because Allah wants their strength to come from experience, not appearance. And one day, the same people who saw you struggling will stand shocked watching how powerfully Allah transforms your life, because they judged you based on your pain, while Allah was using that very pain to prepare you for greatness. Lesson 3. Allah is separating you from limiting beliefs. One of the most painful but powerful parts of being a chosen one is realizing that sometimes the people around you cannot see the future Allah placed inside you because they are trapped inside their own fears, doubts, 5, and limitations. Many chosen ones grow up in environments where they are told to think small, stay safe, avoid risks, 5, and never dream beyond what previous generations achieved. You may have heard things like, "People like us never succeed," "Stop dreaming too big," or "Be realistic." Over time, these words can quietly damage a person's confidence and make them question the vision Allah placed inside their heart. 5. But chosen ones are different because even when everyone around them accepts average, something deep inside them refuses to settle. There is a voice within you constantly pushing you toward growth, healing, discipline, purpose, and something greater than survival. That feeling is not arrogance. It is the calling Allah placed on your life. This is why chosen ones often feel isolated. 5. Even around family and friends. You are trying to grow beyond environments that became comfortable with limitation. While others fear change, 5. Allah is calling you toward transformation. And many times, 5. People will misunderstand your ambition because your growth forces them to confront the areas where they stopped believing in themselves. Some people become uncomfortable when they see your discipline, your faith, your vision, or your determination because your life becomes a reminder of what is possible when someone truly trusts Allah. Instead of supporting you, they may criticize you, mock your goals, or make you feel guilty for wanting more from life. 5. But what they do not understand is that Allah did not place that hunger inside you by accident. Sometimes, Allah allows chosen ones to feel emotionally separated from certain people, so they can finally hear His voice clearly without constant negativity surrounding them. If you stay too connected to limiting beliefs, you will slowly begin shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. You will hide your intelligence, silence your dreams, and ignore your calling to avoid judgment. But Allah did not create you to remain trapped inside fear passed down from one generation to another. He created you to break cycles, to think differently, and to show others what becomes possible when someone fully trusts Him, even without support from people around them. This is why your rise will shock your family and everyone who underestimated you. They thought you would stay inside the same limitations they accepted for themselves. They expected you to think small, live small, 5, and remain dependent on their approval forever. But Allah was secretly teaching you how to outgrow fear, doubt, 5, and emotional chains that held others back for years. Your growth is not just about success, money, or recognition. 5. It is about becoming the person Allah created you to be without apologizing for your purpose. And one day, the same people who questioned your vision will look at your life in disbelief because they will realize that while they were trying to make you think smaller, Allah was preparing you for something far bigger than any of them imagined. Lesson 4.
Silence is part of your elevation. One of the deepest lessons chosen ones must understand is that Allah often develops His strongest
5. Servants in silence before revealing them publicly, because silence is where true transformation happens. Many people think nothing is happening in your life simply because they cannot see immediate success, attention, or recognition. But Allah does some of His greatest work behind closed doors where nobody can interrupt the process. During these silent seasons, 5. Chosen ones often feel forgotten, isolated, or emotionally exhausted because they are carrying battles nobody else understands. You may feel like people stopped noticing you, supporting you, or believing in you, but sometimes Allah removes noise, distractions, and constant validation, so you can become fully dependent on Him instead of human approval. This pattern can even be seen in the lives of the prophets. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was rejected by his own brothers, thrown into a well, pot 5, separated from his family, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years before Allah elevated him to a position of honor and authority. During those painful hidden years, people probably thought his life was finished. But Allah was preparing him quietly for a destiny greater than anyone imagined. In the same way, 5. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent years being mocked, rejected, insulted, 5, and ignored by his own people before Allah raised His message across the world. What looked like weakness to people was actually preparation from Allah. 5. This is why chosen ones must stop fearing silent seasons, because silence is not always punishment. 5. Many times it is divine protection and spiritual training. Allah keeps you hidden while He strengthens your mind, heals your heart, 5, increases your wisdom, and prepares blessings your current version is not ready to carry yet. People may laugh at your quietness, misunderstand your distance, or assume you are failing because they cannot see visible results. But they do not realize Allah is building something inside you that public attention could have destroyed too early. One day your rise will surprise the same people who ignored you, because while they were focused on appearances, Allah was secretly preparing your transformation in silence. And when Allah finally reveals what He has been building, nobody will be able to deny that your elevation came directly from Him. Lesson 5. Your character will separate you from everyone else. One of the greatest reasons Allah allows chosen ones to go through deep pain, rejection, betrayal, loneliness, and emotional battles is because He is building a level of character inside them that cannot be created through comfort alone.
5.
Most people think success is only about talent, intelligence, beauty, money, or connections. But Allah teaches chosen ones that real elevation comes from the condition of the heart. This is why your journey has probably felt heavier than the journeys of people around you. While others were being entertained by the world, Allah was training your soul. While others were chasing attention, popularity, and validation, Allah was teaching you patience, discipline, self-control, emotional strength, and dependence on Him. Many chosen ones wonder why they have experienced so much disappointment from people they loved, so much misunderstanding from family, so much isolation from friends, and so many situations where they had to cry silently while pretending to be strong. But the truth is, Allah was using every painful moment to shape your character into something rare in this generation. He was teaching you how to stay kind in a cruel world, how to stay humble after rejection, how to stay faithful during delays, and how to control your emotions when pain tries to turn your heart bitter. Most people become arrogant after success or hateful after suffering, but Allah wants chosen ones to become wiser, calmer, softer, and spiritually stronger through every experience they survive. This is why your rise will shock people one day, because many expected your pain to destroy you emotionally. Some thought rejection would make you insecure forever. Others thought betrayal would turn you cold-hearted. Some assumed loneliness would break your spirit and make you quit on yourself completely. But instead of becoming bitter, Allah slowly transformed your pain into wisdom. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every disappointment taught you emotional maturity. Every lonely night pushed you closer to Allah instead of further away. And this is what separates chosen ones from others. Anyone can stay positive when life is easy, but only spiritually strong people can maintain good character after experiencing deep emotional pain. Allah watches how you behave during suffering, because suffering reveals what truly lives inside the heart. Some people become evil after being hurt once, while chosen ones continue fighting to protect their purity even after being hurt many times. That struggle to remain soft-hearted in a hard world is part of what makes you different. This pattern can be seen clearly in the lives of the prophets. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a well, separated from his father, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years despite being innocent, yet he never allowed pain to turn him cruel or revengeful. When Allah finally elevated him to power, he had every opportunity to humiliate the people who hurt him, but instead he responded with mercy, wisdom, and forgiveness, because his suffering had purified his character instead of corrupting it. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was mocked, insulted, rejected, and emotionally wounded by his own people for years. People threw stones at him until he bled, laughed at him publicly, and tried to destroy his message completely. Yet he continued showing patience, mercy, and compassion even toward those who treated him unfairly. 5. This is what makes chosen ones powerful in the eyes of Allah. Not just their intelligence or abilities. 5. But at their ability to maintain character during hardship. Anyone can pretend to have faith when life is comfortable. 5. But true spiritual strength is revealed when someone continues trusting Allah, even while carrying pain nobody else understands. Many chosen ones are emotionally deep because they were forced to mature earlier than others. Pain taught you lessons that comfort never could. 5. You learned how quickly people can change, how temporary worldly approval can be, and how dangerous it is to place your identity in human validation instead of Allah. While others were depending completely on praise from people, Allah was teaching you how to survive seasons where nobody applauded you. This is why chosen ones often become emotionally independent over time, not because they hate people, but because Allah taught them that peace cannot depend on constant approval from others. The more you grow spiritually, the more you realize that some people only support you when you remain small enough to make them comfortable. The moment you begin healing, 5. Becoming disciplined, setting boundaries, or walking confidently in your purpose, some people become uncomfortable because your growth reminds them of their own fears and insecurities. 5. But Allah did not create you to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. He created you to rise while staying humble, disciplined, 5, and connected to Him. And this is why character matters more than temporary success. Many people can achieve money or status for a short time, 5, but very few people can handle influence without becoming arrogant, selfish, or spiritually empty. Allah delays many chosen ones because He cares more about preparing their heart than rushing their success. If certain blessings came too early, pride could have destroyed them. If fame came before healing, they might have become addicted to attention instead of staying connected to Allah. 5. If power came before wisdom, they might have misused it emotionally. So Allah uses hidden seasons to purify intentions and strengthen character first. The waiting season is not wasted time. It is spiritual preparation. Every silent battle, every private prayer, every act of patience. 5. And every moment you chose dignity instead of revenge was shaping the person you are becoming. One of the most beautiful things about chosen ones is that their pain often increases their compassion instead of decreasing it. Because you know what rejection feels like, you become careful with people's emotions. Because you know loneliness personally, you naturally notice people who are suffering silently. Because you experienced misunderstanding, you become less judgmental toward others. Allah often allows chosen ones to suffer deeply because their future purpose involves helping, guiding, protecting, or inspiring people who feel broken themselves. Your wounds are not random. Many times, they become the exact reason you are able to understand and heal others later in life. The world is full of people who have knowledge but no compassion, power but no humility, influence but no integrity. Allah wants chosen ones to be different. He wants their strength to come with wisdom, their success to come with gratitude, 5, and their influence to come with mercy. This is also why many chosen ones feel emotionally exhausted around fake people, shallow conversations, 5, and environments filled with ego, because Allah has trained their spirit to value depth, sincerity, peace, and truth. 5. After everything you have survived, your soul naturally begins rejecting anything that feels spiritually empty. You start realizing that real success is not pretending to be powerful online while secretly being broken inside. 5. Real success is becoming emotionally stable, spiritually connected, disciplined, peaceful, and able to sleep at night with a clean heart. Many people will chase wealth their entire life while remaining spiritually miserable. But chosen ones slowly begin understanding that inner peace is one of the greatest forms of wealth Allah can give a person. There will come a moment when the same people who underestimated you begin noticing something different about your presence. Not just your success, a 5, but your peace. Not just your growth, but your emotional strength. 5. They will notice that the things that once broke you no longer control you emotionally. They will notice your calmness, your wisdom, your discipline. 5. And your quiet confidence. And many of them will not understand how you became this version of yourself, because they only saw your painful seasons. 5. Not the private healing Allah was doing within you. They did not see the nights you prayed through emotional exhaustion. They did not see the moments you forced yourself to keep going, while silently struggling. They did not see the discipline it took to continue believing in yourself when nobody around you understood your vision. But Allah saw everything. 5. Every tear, every sacrifice, every act of patience, and every moment you chose faith over hopelessness was being recorded by Him. And one day Allah will elevate chosen ones in a way that proves character always outlasts temporary popularity. People who relied only on beauty, manipulation, attention, or arrogance will eventually collapse under pressure, because external success without inner strength cannot survive forever. 5. But chosen ones are built differently because their foundation was formed through pain, patience, faith, and spiritual growth. 5. That is why your rise will feel different. It will carry peace instead of chaos, humility instead of arrogance, and wisdom instead of pride. Allah is not just building successful people. He is building strong souls who can carry blessings without losing themselves. 5. And when your time finally comes, the most shocking part will not only be how high Allah takes you, but how pure your heart remained after everything you survived. Lesson 6. Allah delays the rise so the impact becomes greater. One of the most difficult things for chosen ones to understand is why Allah allowed 5 their breakthrough to take so long, when they have already suffered, struggled, prayed, stayed patient, and continued fighting silently for years. There are moments when you look around and see people with less discipline rising faster, people with weaker character being celebrated more, 5, and people who hurt others still appearing successful, while you continue carrying heavy emotional battles behind closed doors. In those moments, the chosen one begins questioning everything. You begin wondering if your prayers are being heard, if your sacrifices matter. 5. Or if your dreams were simply too unrealistic. But what many chosen ones fail to realize is that Allah delays certain elevations because the future impact of their life is far greater than they 5 currently understand. Allah is not only preparing blessings for you, He is preparing you for the blessings. There is a huge difference between receiving something and being spiritually, emotionally, and mentally prepared to carry it without destroying yourself. Many people ask Allah for success, influence, recognition, money, or opportunities, but very few ask Allah to prepare their soul for those things first. 5. Chosen ones go through long hidden seasons because Allah knows premature elevation can destroy a person who has not yet developed the wisdom, and 5. Humility, emotional control, and spiritual discipline necessary to survive it. This is why your life may have felt delayed compared to others around you. While other people were rushing toward temporary success, Allah was slowing you down so He could build a stronger foundation underneath your future. Many people rise quickly and collapse quickly because their inner world was never healed before their outer world expanded. 5. Some people gain influence before learning humility, so pride destroys them. Others gain money before developing discipline, so greed consumes them. 5. Some gain attention before healing emotionally, so they become addicted to validation and lose themselves trying to maintain an image. 5. But Allah does not want chosen ones to rise only to fall apart later. He wants your elevation to carry peace, stability, wisdom, and purpose. 5. That kind of success takes longer because Allah is building your soul before your platform. The delay was never proof that Allah ignored you. The delay was proof that He cared too much to release blessings into hands that were not fully ready yet. This pattern can be seen throughout the lives of the prophets. 5. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, did not rise immediately after receiving the dream from Allah about his future. Instead, years of betrayal, 5. Isolation, false accusations, slavery and imprisonment came first. Imagine how confusing that must have felt emotionally. Allah showed him a vision of elevation, yet his reality looked completely opposite for many years. There were moments when his life probably appeared hopeless to everyone around him. But Allah was not delaying Yusuf's rise because He abandoned him. Allah was delaying it because the position Yusuf would eventually carry required extraordinary wisdom, patience, emotional maturity, leadership, fight and trust in Allah. If Yusuf, peace be upon him, had been elevated too early, before enduring those painful experiences, he may not have developed the depth necessary for the assignment Allah prepared for him. The prison was not the end of Yusuf's story. It was part of his preparation. Every painful season built another layer of wisdom within him, until the day Allah elevated him in a way nobody could stop. The same pattern happened with Prophet Musa, peace be upon him. Before Allah used him to confront Pharaoh and guide an entire nation, Musa spent years in fear, isolation, exile, and uncertainty. At one point he had to flee everything familiar and live away from the life he once knew. 5. To human eyes, it may have looked like failure or confusion, but Allah was using hidden years to prepare a prophet strong enough to stand before one of the most powerful tyrants in history without fear. Chosen ones must understand that hidden seasons are often training grounds for future assignments, far bigger than they can currently imagine. Allah sometimes removes you from comfort, delays opportunities, and allows long seasons of silence because He is strengthening your spirit in ways public success never could. 5. One of the hardest emotional battles chosen ones face during delayed seasons is watching others misunderstand their process. Family members may begin questioning your vision. Friends may assume you are wasting time. People may secretly look down on you because your success has not appeared yet externally. Some may even compare you to others and make you feel like you are falling behind in life. But what people fail to understand is that Allah writes different timelines for different souls. Not everyone is called to rise quickly. 5. Some people bloom early and fade early. Others are built slowly because their impact is meant to last. The chosen one must learn how to trust Allah even when nothing visible seems to be changing, because faith becomes most powerful during seasons where 5. External evidence is missing. 5. Many chosen ones become emotionally exhausted because they carry dreams nobody around them understands while simultaneously battling fear, loneliness, 5. Self-doubt, and pressure internally. You may spend years improving yourself quietly, while people continue judging you based on old versions of who you used to be. That is one of the loneliest feelings in the world. To know Allah is changing you internally, while nobody around you recognizes your growth yet. But Allah often hides chosen ones during transformation seasons because public attention too early can interrupt spiritual development. Sometimes Allah intentionally keeps you unseen, so your identity becomes rooted in Him instead of rooted in praise from people. 5. If too many doors opened before your spirit matured, your ego could have become attached to status instead of staying connected to Allah. This is why chosen ones must stop comparing their journey to the journeys of others, because comparison destroys peace and blinds you to what Allah is. 5. Personally doing in your life. The person rising quickly today may not be emotionally prepared for what tomorrow brings. The opportunities others receive may not even align with your true purpose. Allah knows exactly what type of process your soul requires. 5. Some people only need small lessons before elevation, while chosen ones often endure deeper testing because their future assignment carries greater weight. Allah tests people according to what He knows they are capable of carrying. And while the process feels painful, the chosen one eventually realizes that every delay protected them from becoming the wrong version of themselves. One of the most powerful transformations delayed seasons create is emotional independence from human validation. In the beginning, many chosen ones desperately want support, recognition, encouragement, and approval from people around them. 5. They want others to believe in their vision, celebrate their growth, and understand their purpose. 5. But after years of walking through hidden seasons with Allah alone, something changes internally. 5. You stop depending so heavily on external validation, because Allah teaches you how to continue moving forward even when nobody claps for you. That level of spiritual independence becomes dangerous in the best possible way, because once a chosen one no longer depends on approval from people, 5. Fear loses much of its control over them. You begin making decisions based on purpose instead of popularity. You stop shrinking yourself to fit inside other people's comfort zones. You stop abandoning your calling just because others fail to understand it. 5. And then comes the moment that shocks everyone. After years of silence, struggle, rejection, confusion, and hidden preparation, Allah suddenly opens doors that nobody can close. Opportunities appear unexpectedly. Your confidence becomes stronger. Your wisdom deepens. 5. Your peace increases. The same people who once overlooked you begin noticing a completely different presence about you. Some become inspired. 5. Others become confused. Some even become uncomfortable because your transformation forces them to confront how badly they underestimated you. 5. But your rise was never truly sudden. It only looked sudden to people who could not see what Allah was doing privately for years. What they call an overnight transformation was actually built through years of pain, prayer, patience, discipline, healing, and silent endurance. This is why chosen ones must never curse delayed seasons, because many times the delay itself becomes the reason the future blessing feels so powerful. The waiting season humbles you, matures you, and strengthens your relationship with Allah. It teaches you lessons success alone could never teach. It teaches gratitude because you remember what it felt like to have nothing. It teaches compassion because you understand pain personally. It teaches patience because you survived seasons where nothing made sense. And most importantly, it teaches you that your worth never depended on how quickly life rewarded you publicly. Your value was always with Allah even when the world overlooked you. Many people only trust Allah when life feels comfortable. 5. But chosen ones are often trained to trust Allah inside uncertainty. That is why their faith eventually becomes unshakable. After surviving enough painful seasons, you begin realizing that every time you thought your story was ending, Allah was secretly preparing another chapter. Every closed door redirected you toward something better. Every delay protected you from something your current self could not yet understand. Every lonely season strengthened your connection with Allah. 5. And eventually, the chosen one reaches a level of peace where they no longer panic over timing, because they know Allah's plans are always wiser than human. 5. Expectations. One day, your family, friends, and even the people who doubted your future will witness your rise and wonder how everything changed so dramatically. But what they will not fully understand is that your elevation began years before success became visible. 5. It began the moment you continued trusting Allah during silence. It began the moment you kept praying through emotional exhaustion. It began the moment you refused to give up despite rejection, loneliness, delays and fear. Your rise was being built every time you chose patience instead of bitterness, discipline instead of laziness, and faith instead of hopelessness. A 5. And when Allah finally reveals what He spent years preparing inside you, the impact will feel greater precisely because the process took longer. 5. Because some souls are not being prepared for ordinary lives. Some souls are being prepared for testimony so powerful that people will look at their transformation and know only Allah could have done it. Up 5. Conclusion. If you are a chosen one going through rejection, delays, loneliness, confusion, a 5, or seasons where it feels like nobody understands your journey, never believe that Allah has forgotten you. Sometimes the greatest elevations are prepared in complete silence before they are revealed publicly. The pain you survived was not meaningless. The nights you cried alone were not ignored. The doors that closed, the people who walked away, the moments you felt unseen, and the seasons where your life seemed delayed were all part of Allah's preparation for the person you are becoming. Your family may not understand your vision yet, and people around you may judge you based on your current condition, but Allah sees the future He already planned for you long before anyone else recognizes it. 5. Just like Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was rejected before being elevated. A 5. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was mocked before his message changed the world. Your hidden season does not define your final destination. 5. Allah is building strength, wisdom, patience, discipline, and character inside you so that when your rise finally happens, it will not only change your life but also become proof of His power and mercy. One day the same people who underestimated you will stand shocked watching what Allah turned you into, and they will realize that while they were doubting you, Allah was preparing you for something far greater than anyone imagined. So remain patient, stay connected to Allah, protect your heart from bitterness, 5, and continue moving forward, even when the process feels heavy, because the chosen one who trusts Allah during hidden seasons eventually rises in ways no human being can stop.